O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 RDX $419 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 4 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys. and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Yes, it is game day. I love it. Game 6, Panthers and Oilers. Up 3-2. Do they finish them out tonight? I think they do. Anyway, welcome aboard. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're feeling good. I know I'm feeling really, really good. Feeling good about the Panthers, feeling good about Bitcoin, just feeling good, baby. Feeling good. Although if you're a Heat fan, I don't know. Listen, you're welcome. That's all I can say. For all of you Heat fans out there that watch this show, you're welcome. Okay? You're welcome. Because I don't know how many outlets actually, just tell you the honest truth about what's going on with the Heat and what they should do, and instead of feeding you all the bullshit about going after Durant. And as you can tell, the whole thing, dude, the Heat are only on the list for Durant because Durant knows they're stupid enough to give him that 2-year contract. Since they're just hanging on to being relevant. That's what the Heat is. They're not even about a championship anymore. Come on. Let's be honest now. If you have half a brain, just half a brain, Riley's first press conference when he took over in Miami, I was at it. It was on one of Mickey's boats. It was the greatest press conference in the history of my career. All right. 35 years, 30 of them covering press shit and all that kind of stuff. Last 5 years, I've been on my platform. I don't really have to do any of that stuff anymore. Thank God. It's like when I get in the car and somebody on QAM is actually forced or trying to interview a Marlins player. Like, why are you doing that? Is there some kind of commitment or something? That kind of shit. Thank God. There's a lot of shit I don't have to do anymore, which I'm really blessed. And thank you, by the way. Thank you, because you're on and you're supporting and, you're visiting our great sponsors like Welton Rayom. It's the reason we get to do this, and we don't have to go do the bullshit or play the bullshit game. I love the Heat, bro. I'm all for the Heat tearing it all down and supporting that and watching it and all that. For Christ's sake, I bought your expansion tickets. I was an expansion season ticket holder the first 4 years. My girlfriend and myself, now my wife. We had, in your worst years, and we had a great time. So, I don't understand really what's going on with the Heat, why they want to hang on to being just relevant, somewhat relevant, because if somehow or another you're unlucky enough to get Durant, because see, what I love about some of you out there is you're just making a case that if you get Durant along with Bam and Tyler, you'll be relevant. But you're not championship. You're not winning shit, dude. Isn't that what it's about? This is a team that's already got 3 banners. Just getting to the playoffs or surviving the play-in, that's not what they're supposed to be about. But Mickey Arison clearly worries more about the bottom line, and he just wants to be somewhat relevant because, again, with Durant, you'll have enough people selling you bullshit out there, and you idiots will read and consume that bullshit because they need to survive. Heat beat writers and Heat podcasters and all that, since that's all they do, Heat. They can't really be brutally honest about it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, you got Durant. Yeah, guys, you'll be somewhat relevant, but you're not winning anything significant, which is what you should tell people. The Heat is just trying to hang on to get a playoff spot. And with all that said, the reports are your offer is shit, and it's not enough for Durant, basically, from the Suns. Okay? And that's the other thing. The Heat can't face the reality of where they need to go, tear it down completely. And then the Heat, excuse me, they fail in the reality that they don't know that right now their franchise ain't shit, bro. Their players ain't shit. Bam Adebayo, whatever, dude, a really good role player. Good, but he's not a leader. He's not a top 3 guy or anything like that. He's a really bad 3 when you have 2 flat-out superstars. If you have LeBron and Wade, you can have Bosh. Okay? All right? If you have 2 beasts that can carry you, then you can have, I'm sorry, not Bosh, Bam. You can have him that way. But Bam no tiene cojones. Please. He's just not that guy. He's not that dude. His girlfriend, way more balls than he'll ever have. And Tyler Hero's, yeah, he can score, but he's soft. And you're hanging on because because he stayed healthy 1 year. 1 year he stayed healthy. And you're about to get suckered into a big contract with that kid. I don't understand this. And then I don't understand you people out there that follow this shit, and you buy into this shit every year, and you think you're going to get this stud and all that, and you're a bridesmaid, bro. Wake the hell up. I've been telling you for a while, dude. Riley is not an attraction anymore. Time has passed. Generation has passed. That shit is over, dude. I love the guy. He's built a monster here. He's given us a great 25 years. It is time. Let me give you an example of how lost the Miami Heat are. The Memphis Grizzlies built up something, and they saw it's not working. And now they traded Desmond Bane, and now they're in the middle of maybe shipping John Moran and even Jaren Jackson Jr. And then all these picks they're going to collect, they're going to restart again. Instead of waiting few more years for this thing not to work and keep hitting themselves against a wall, Memphis is like, no, bro, this ain't working. This ain't working, and we're going to reset. That's balls. That's balls, bro. And the Heat, for the last few years, they keep hanging on to this bullshit. It's amazing to me. And the worst part is media buying into this bullshit, selling this bullshit. And I understand fans. I'm sorry for the generality, but you're not really very smart in general. You're not, because you're fanatical. And in general, you refuse to see the reality. And this is why you do all these silly things the last couple of years. And this is why I make fun of Heat Nation, the most delusional fan base I have ever seen. It's worse than the Dolphins. Now, you have something to lean on. So you're kind of hanging on to the past, and then, you know, the fake success that you recently had to the finals, you know, because you're really not that good. Oh, it did a whole bunch of overachieving, but it fed into your ego, and it clouds your reality, thinking that your franchise is anything special, or your players are anything special, or that you can attract anything special, and you fail in everything. And you fail in everything every single year. And yet you don't see it, how you get bamboozled by Rozier. And you're waiting to get bamboozled by Tyler Hero, and you're hanging on to Bam Adebayo, and you're hanging on to Jimmy Butler, and you hang on to them too long. And here's Memphis saying, this no work, man. This broken. Yeah, he talented, but no work. We must export. We must do like Trump. Export. And that's it. And so they got rid of Desmond Bane for 4 first-round picks. That's crazy, dude. And then somebody's going to give him a shitload of picks for Ja Moran. And then Jaren Jackson Jr. will also get, and they're going to have a boatload of picks, and they're going to have an opportunity to reset because they're smart. The Miami Heat had that opportunity when they got to the title the second time around, and they could have traded Jimmy right there and then. And they would have gotten 4 or 5 first-rounders at that moment. Because at that moment, he had kind of like fixed his reputation, and he was on a roll where he kind of was erasing it for a moment. And you know, the good thing is you didn't give it a chance to develop at that moment. And then finally it did develop the next couple of years. A regular Jimmy came out. Excuse me. And you lost all value. I don't know how much more can the Miami Heat mismanage their situation every year. Every year it's desperation, mismanagement, because you're trying to hang on to being relevant. You got no shot at a title, but you just want to be relevant. Hey, man, if you want to pay to go to the arena for a team that's just relevant because they're not really trying to win a title anymore because they can't, because they're stuck like Chuck, but they sell you, you know, something completely different. I feel bad for the organization right now, the funk they're in. They don't even know how to get out of it. They don't even understand the situation they're in. That's how bad at least that's what it looks like. You know, it looks really incompetent. It looks very Dolphinish, very Marlins, very incompetent, very Inter Miami, just very incompetent. Okay. Just that's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? And I never thought I would say that about Pat Riley and the Heat organization, but man, they're incompetent. And that's sad. It's sad. And you're hanging on, you're trying to buy a 37-year-old, and you're only on that list because Durant knows you're stupid enough to give him $130 million for 2 years. That's the only reason you're on the list, because you're stupid enough to give him that money. Very few people are on that list. He wants to go to New York, apparently. According to all of that, New York doesn't want him, and he wants to go to New York. San Antonio, he's, you know, they're not so interested or whatever, maybe whatever, and then a couple of other teams in the Heat are thrown in there, and then the Heat don't have an offer to entice Phoenix because the Heat don't have anything, dude. Like, you can't sell what you don't have. So what you got left, get rid of it, bro. You're going to wait, and then Tyler's going to get injured next year, and you're back to square one, and now you can't unload him for anything. And, you know, it's one mistake after another, because you're desperately hanging on to have some kind of importance that if you don't, you're like the Tyreek Hill of franchises right now. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I'm glad, by the way, that Noah Lyles came to his senses and dismissed this clown. I mean, first of all, look who Tyreek is. Look what he's got all his shit involved in. His image, all of that is garbage. Dude, you're Noah Lyles. You're an Olympian. Your image is clean. Okay? You're a good dude. Why would you want to sully your reputation with this dirtbag? Seriously. Like, Tyreek is just a lowlife, bro. That's all. He just has a lot of speed and can catch balls and all that, but he's a terrible human being, dude. That's it. Terrible human being. And I'm glad Noah Lyles dropped him like a bad habit. He doesn't need to give him any hype. He doesn't gain anything from giving that clown any kind of hype, any kind of pub at all. You're Noah Lyles, bro. Okay? You're an American treasure. Tyreek is a clown that can catch some footballs. That's it. That's all he is. A clown that leaves children, in his wake. That's all. Terrible human being, terrible person, terrible father. If you're Noah Lyles, why would you want to associate yourself with that? Anyway, back to the Tyreek Hill of franchises. Stop searching for desperation, Miami Heat. It's pathetic, bro. I thought it was below you, but apparently it's now your norm. Drop it, man. Reset the entire franchise. Sell what you can sell, get whatever picks, and bite the bullet, Mickey Arison. So if there's 5,000 less people in the arena, I'm sorry, dude, if your pockets take a little bit of a hit, but you should do what's best basketball-wise instead of just keeping a dead person alive on life support. Okay? Right now, the Miami Heat is as good as Joe Biden when he was our president. A mummy that was like half alive and, and then being propped up and kept up by everybody else. So he can, I'll play you at golf. I mean, come on, So if, you guys want to just keep the Biden body alive there, you go ahead, bro. You got to keep running your head into a wall. Keep doing it, bro. Keep doing it. Because that's really going to get you guys. Look at the league. You got to give up 4 first-rounders to get Desmond Bane. Nice player, but 4 first-rounders. You guys can barely bring up 2 first-rounders in any trade. Come on, man. Take the 8 steps back so you can start taking real steps forward. You got the best coach in the business. It's sad, really. It really is sad that they desperately hang on to just be relevant. Definitely had to get that off my chest. Don't forget, folks, you can support the show many ways. Please hit the hell out of that like button. All right? We need that. We need that. Get the algorithms going. All right? And, of course, you can make a donation, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. As you all know, we're trying to go to Madrid to cover the Dolphins game that week. So help us get there. And you can make a donation many ways, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. By the way, next Wednesday, we will be at Subaru of Pembroke Pines at 16100 Pines Boulevard. And Sean will bring up the billboard now. you can get $500 off your next purchase of a Subaru. All you got to do, you can use a QR code, or if you go in person, mention my name, Moi, and say, hey, man, Big O says I give $500 off my next Acura. So if you want to get the Solterra, that you can get it at $297 a month, 0 down right now. They've got 0% financing for 72 months on the Solterra. The Forester, $242 a month, 3.9% financing. What else? We've got the Outback, $267 a month, 2.9% financing, 0 down available, sign and drive. I mean, amazing deals across Trek, huge selection, nice variety, $224 a month, 2.9% financing, sign and drive, 0 down also available. There's just a lot of options. It is the summer love sales event going on at Subaru. The Impreza, you're looking for a nice car, you got a youngin that is starting to drive, you can get the Impreza for $157 a month, 4.9% financing. You can get 0 down, sign and drive. Also, get that 5-door, man. Great deal out there. I got a lot of great deals. Tell them that Big O sent you. Get $500 off. They'll take care of you. Trust me there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. All right. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. A short one today, dude. Thunder last night took care of the Pacers as expected. Halliburton was banged up, played like shit. SGA had 31 points. Dude, Jalen Williams, 40 points, 14 of 25 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point range. They now lead 3-2 in this series, and they are obviously in the driver's seat. We'll see if the Pacers can make it interesting and stretch it out to Game 7. If Halliburton is not healthy, it's just hard to even imagine them, winning. Tonight on the ice, your Florida Panthers are going for their second straight Stanley Cup title. And if they defeat the Oilers tonight, they will celebrate that title. We'll be back on tonight, okay? One way or the other. I didn't do Saturday because I have a life, and I wanted to go out with my wife and go enjoy New Order and Joy Division music with Peter Hook. And I did, and I had a great time, and I didn't feel guilty that I missed the game, okay? So, but I will be there tonight, and hopefully we will be talking about the Panthers winning. And so come back to the platform. Always hit the notification bell, because the notification bell tells you when we go live. You'll get the message right on your phone or your computer, wherever you're at. And that way you can, follow right away and you know when we're live and something's going on, or if there's breaking news or whatever it is that's going on. So 8 o'clock tonight, we'll be on right after that. Panthers minus 155 on the money line. The Oilers are plus 130. Over and under is 6.5 goals. Wednesday, tomorrow night, Pitbull Stadium, Miami FC taking on the Charleston Battery. 7 o'clock is the game time. Thursday at 3 on TNT. The FIFA World Cup continues as Inter Miami takes on FC Porto. And Porto is heavily favored, so not a good thing for Inter Miami. They're minus 150. Inter Miami is plus 370 on the money line. So I would not. I mean, if you want to put a $20, $40, whatever that you want to throw away, which is probably what you'll do. I know it looks like it's a value, but it's really not. Inter Miami's not that good. Okay, they're not that good. They're not that good in the MLS, right? So, Messi's crew is here to vacation more than anything else. And don't forget, if you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco, at 3A Graphics. The cell number, 786-618-1443. Whatever it is you need, custom printing, embroidery, you can do all of it by Zoom and all that. That's what everybody does it anyway. They don't really go over to the factory and, hey, you guys don't have time for that. And then they can ship it right to you, all of that stuff. And we've had actually most of the people that I've called haven't even been from South Florida, actually. The customers that he's getting have been from out of South Florida, most of them. So it's kind of interesting how it works out because, again, you can do all of that by Zoom and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Appreciate you all out there, and thank you for calling 3A Graphics over the last couple of years. 786-618-1443. Really appreciate it. And always mention us, man. You know, you call Welton Rail, mention us. Caneswear, Big O10, you will get 10% off. Sloman's Home Security, 1-800-ALARM-ME. Cutter's Edge Pro, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. Toyota of Hollywood, Acura Pembroke Pines, Subaru, Hialeah Park. Remember Hialeah Park, we get you $100 too. The no regret first bet. Use the QR code that we show you there. If you're listening to the show, just come find it on video, and then you'll see when I'm talking about it. You'll know the timestamp, and then you can look at it on video, and you can hit the QR code there, and you can make your bet and get $100, dude. I mean, it's pretty cool. Use a different cell phone number or email if you happen to have a Hard Rock account already. All right. So it's very important that when you do visit our amazing sponsors, Moody's Dental or whatever it is, dude, you mention us. Very, very, very important that you do that. R&M Contractors. You call Ray, please mention us. Okay. Dade or Broward, even condos, by the way. Condo folks have some trouble getting the right work. Ray and his staff do awesome work with condos too, not just homes. So there you go. But please mention us. It's very, very important. We're going to have David Feronis on, but he has Okie duties. So we're going to push it to tomorrow. It's not really much to talk about. Really, there's not anything going on the Dolphins side. Although something that I noticed that is kind of interesting, and I'm going to bring it up in a few minutes, but we'll have David tomorrow. He's going to cover the hockey game tonight. So we'll get him tomorrow. You know, maybe I should get him on tonight after the hockey game, fresh from the locker rooms instead. Right, Sean? And then Friday we'll just talk. What the hell is there to talk about the Dolphins? There's no move with Jalen Ramsey. There's no move with Jonnu Smith. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. As we keep up with this, did Drew Rosenhaus mention the word negotiations on Channel 7? Did he say it was fluid and they're having discussions, or was the word negotiation going on at all there, Sean? I'm just wondering. Inquiring minds want to know. Amazing how the media doesn't really pick up on that, and they just run with, well, you know, he says it's fluid and they're having discussions. Yeah, that means he's gone, dude. I told you I was in the car and I was listening to Joe last week, and he's like talking, well, you know, they got to come up with a deal for Jonnu. And I'm like, bro, are you like following this, or are you just pumping hopium into people and lying to them because he's gone? Anyway, we're not here to bullshit you people, man. You may not like what I say, but at least it's not bullshit, you know? So 99% of it ends up becoming exactly what I'm telling you because I read through all the bullshit, you know, and I don't have to go along with any of the bullshit. So, you know, it's different. It just, yeah, just not good, man. Not good. Let's get to the chat board. I have not gone to the chat board. Don't forget to smash the like button too. Okay. Jamie Zoria, I see. Gus 1388. Oscar Rojas is smashing the like button too. Jay Gelfin. Yes, sir. One-Eyed Jack. Alexis Palenzuela. Rosendo. Dolphin Dave. I know he's hurting another day because it's Dolphin Dave. It's day 18,740 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Skylar Tipton, Big Johnson, Walter Olivares. Let's see. Rosanna says, baby, if you ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living in the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati. Yes, I had to get a shirt. You know, I like getting shirts from my era, and you know, so I think I've worn this like maybe twice or something. What else do we have? Good morning to you, Roderick. You picked the Panthers in 6. Well, I like your chances for the Panthers in 6. I think I did that too also. I think I picked them in 6 also. Salzola is in the house. Let's see. Campos is hitting Universal in July. Okay. Hot as hell, dude. Hot as hell. Dress light. Drink a lot of water. Pat in Asheville. Les Nessman. No, something just came out of the back of the helicopter. It's a dark object, perhaps a skydiver. There's a second, a third. No parachutes yet. The turkeys, yes. The famous turkey episode. Yeah. Oh, Lordy. You know we're old as hell, right? When we're talking about the turkey episode on WKRP in Cincinnati. There's a whole bunch of young people that have no freaking idea what that is. Anyway, Juan Mendoza, Oilers fans saying a couple lunky bounces. What I don't listen to fans, bro. I don't really give a shit. Juan. Lisa Rose is in the house. Juan Rosa, Randy Gonzalez, Ray Varnicus. They'll close it out, bro. They'll close it. Say it right, oh. Bam and Heroes balls haven't dropped yet. Exactly. Whatever it is, they're not those guys. And I don't believe they ever will. It's not who they are. Big O, July 18th Universal ride list. Anthony, nobody, can't get into a conversation about that on this show. People aren't really going to care about that, bro. That's like a useless conversation right now on a talk show. Let's go checking in from LA. Thank you, Think Blue Dodgers. Brian, it's never late. Just join, baby. Just join. Brian Radke, good morning to you. Norbert, thank you, sir. Les Nessman live broadcast of the turkey drop is hilarious. Yes, it is. Rosendo says, for those young viewers, WKRP was a very popular comedy television sitcom in the 70s of a radio station. And it's DJs and, crazy DJs, stoner DJs, hot DJs, fun, horny salesman trying to bang. Well, everybody was trying to bang the secretary because it was Lonnie Anderson in those days. So, yeah. It was, and let me tell you something. Some of those characters, I've worked with some of those characters. In my 30 years in radio, I've had some of those kind of people with me on the journey. Won't name the names, but yeah, I've seen. I can almost name a person that goes with almost everybody there. Okay, except for the hot secretary. I don't think I remember a hot secretary in any of our radio stations that guys were talking about. No, I don't think I remember that. But everything else, yeah, I can pretty much tell you, no, this guy is that person. This guy is that person. This guy is that character. Yeah, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Yes, Oscar, definitely a MILF. Let's see. Monday night on CBS in 1978 says Ty in the Bronx. You guys are a trip, man. You guys are an absolute trip. All right. I thought, Bailey, exactly. Bailey was so underrated. Yeah. I totally agree with that. Lonnie was the voluptuous. She was beautiful, obviously, all of that. But Bailey's the one that kind of went like under the radar, and you're like, she's a smoke show. You know what I mean? You got to just let the hair down and take off the glasses and all that. And if she dolled herself up in those days, I bet she would have looked a lot better. But yeah, Bailey was one of those for me that was kind of like under the radar hottie. I would have to agree with that, dude. I would definitely have to agree with that. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Oh, by the way, I got my second shingles shot. Say that a whole bunch of times fast. Yesterday. So I am now completely protected from those nasty ass shingles. Whew. Man, I've seen that. I've seen those attacks. And not good. Not good. Not good. So I am glad yesterday. I was waiting for the 2 months because you have to wait at least 2 months between the first shot and the second shot. Because the first shot kind of like feeds the immune system, and then the second shot ignites it all again and really lights it up, and then keeps you protected from that nasty ass shingles, bro. Okay, because like your face, you can get shingles on your face and it'd be like nasty. Thinking about it, I'm going, wow, I couldn't even do the show or anything. I'd be off the show for I don't know how long and stuff. Plus, it'd be nasty to get shingles all over, or if you get them in your, you can get them anywhere, right? So you start getting them in places that aren't the most comfortable. I don't mind. I'll take the shot. I'm good. And so I'm glad I was able to do that yesterday, which was excellent. Also had one of those heart scans or whatever the hell they had yesterday. I had that also, which also all the follow-up stuff, and went well too. So health-wise, continue the climb of staying on that, and then now I got to go to the next level of losing the next 30 pounds. That's my next goal now. I'm in my mid 230s. I got to get down into the low 200s. That's the next step is 30 more pounds, and then I'm done. So, Jeff in Long Island. I forgot who was Venus Flytrap. I forgot the brother's name. Venus Flytrap, but he was a trip too. I don't think he had like a major television career. He had a couple other little parts. That was his peak, I believe. But I forgot his name now. But yeah, he was a trip. I mean, everybody was a trip, dude. Everybody was a trip. What was the name of the stoner with the mustache? I forgot his name too. He was a trip. And was it Art or something? The boss. He was his goofiness and all that shit. It was funny, dude. It was funny. It was a good show. It was definitely a good show. Ty says, I had the shingles in 2022. Not the way to go, Big O. Yeah, no. Tim Reed. Way to go, Ty. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I want to avoid that shit, bro. I want to avoid it. So I've seen it, and you've got the shot for it. Let's go. Bring it on, dude. Bring it on. I don't mind. Ah, man. Anyway, all right. What else do we have? What's going on with the markets? Dow's up 317. The S&P's up 56. The Nasdaq's up a point. Bitcoin is down. It is at 105,339 right now. We were approaching 109, dude. And then that whole war stuff and people worried about the oil and all that kind of stuff. And the proper oil places aren't going to be hit because they know they can't. And so, that's, but whatever. It is what it is. And we'll see how this whole crazy thing ends. By the way, just for, just because I don't care, and I'll give you my opinion on anything. I may not agree with everything that Netanyahu does or says, but I have no problem with what he's doing. None whatsoever. Okay? You don't know how far those people are in making that bomb or not, but the second they do make it, they're going to use it because they're crazy, fanatical lunatics. So I am completely in Israel's corner here. I may not agree with everything that Netanyahu does or says, but in this case, I totally understand, bro. Those people have a hard on to take out the Jews. So, totally understand. This has got, and by the way, they're doing the world a favor for those nutbags to be eliminated. And by the way, maybe their people can finally be freed from oppression, from decades of oppression. Like, you need regime change there, is what you need. And maybe you'll have a little bit more of a peaceful Middle East, because all the other countries aren't really, but none of the countries around them want. Nobody wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon, dude. Nobody. So the Jewish people have to do the dirty work, but they have no choice because it's either them or them. And I totally understand. It's not the Iranian people, just like it's not the Russian people, it's not the North Korean people, it's not the Cubans, it's not the Venezuelans. They just happen to be in countries where they have terrible governments, evil governments. That's all. So it's a terrible situation. Nobody wants it to happen, but I understand it. I completely understand it. So what can I tell you, man? It's a rough world out there, and survival is the number one priority, ladies and gentlemen. It's just kind of the way it goes. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, I was talking to Pat in Nashville yesterday. Lucky bastard. B-52s and Devo are putting together a tour, probably overpriced, but we didn't get any dates here in South Florida. But damn, that's one that I'm like, okay, I'd like to go see them. So if you happen to be a B-52s or a Devo fan, they have announced a tour together. And if you love both, like I do, I've seen both several times, so I'm good. But I wouldn't mind seeing them one more time. Okay. But it starts in Toronto on September 24th, Clarkston, Michigan, Mansfield, Massachusetts, Holmdel, New Jersey, Wantagh, New York, Mountain View, California, Los Angeles, California, and this is the one for Pat in Nashville, Charlotte, North Carolina, lucky bastard, Alpharetta, Georgia, Austin, Texas, and Houston, Texas. Those are it. Those are the only dates for those two together. Maybe they spin off and go on their own in other places. But if you happen to live in any of those cities or close to them, you get to see B-52s and Devo tour. Stevie Nicks also, by the way, added dates to her tour. And if you want to see her here in Florida, you can. September 3rd, she'll be at the Hard Rock Live in Hollywood. And August 30th, she'll be at the Amalie Arena in Tampa. So, but she did add more dates. So just in case, if you're a Stevie fan and Fleetwood Mac fan and all that stuff, it starts in Brooklyn, it ends in Connecticut, but it goes to Ontario and Minnesota and South Carolina and Oregon and Detroit and Sacramento, Phoenix, Vegas, Oklahoma City, Atlantic City, Charlotte, Hartford. So if you happen to be a Stevie fan, you got a chance to see her. All right, let's you know what? Might as well, if I'm doing a little music here. Let me go into musicians' birthdays today. All right, let's go. June 17th, Kendrick Lamar, the man that made Drake his bitch. Kendrick Lamar. There we go. Born in 1987. Who else? Kevin Thornton from Color Me Bad. I wanna sex you up in 69. The guy who wants to sex you up was born in 69. You kind of knew what was going to happen right from the get-go. The guy was born in a sexual year. It was the sexual revolution of the 60s. Somebody should have known that he was going to sing about sex. Anyway, I'm just filling in the blanks, right? I mean, it's obvious. We just break it down to the truth, right to the bottom. Paul Young, going to tear that playhouse down. I love that song, by the way. And the bass on that song. Oh, come back and stay with me. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Paul Young, good stuff. Back in 47, he was born on this date. Unfortunately, we lost him in July 15th of 2000. Let's see. Greg Rowley, member of Santana and Journey, born in 1947. Hell of a musician, singer. Barry Manilow, Lisa, your boy, born in 1946. Barry Allen Pincus. Her name was Lola. Let's go. Who else? That is good for musicians. Now let's go with other famous folk celebrating birthdays. If I don't say their age, that means they have passed away. Okay? Like musician Igor Stravinsky. He was born in 1882. So you can imagine he's not with us anymore. Filmmaker Ken Loach, born in 36. He's 89. God bless him. Let's see. Newt Gingrich, born in 43. He is 82 today. George S. Clinton, born in 47. He is 78 today. Joe Piscopo, always did a great Frank Sinatra. Born in 51. He's 74 today. And he looks like a Shar-Pei. Anyway, John Grease, the actor, 57. He is 68 today. I loved him in The Pretender. Let's see what else. Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys, born in 58. He's 67. Actor Thomas Hayden Church, born in 60. He's 65. Actor Greg Kinnear, born in 63. He's 62 today. Olympic Hall of Fame speed skater Dan Jansen, born in 65. He's 60. Actor Jason Patrick, born in 66. He's 59. Let's see. Actor Will Fort, born in 70. He's 55. Venus Williams, the tennis star, was born in 1980. She is 45. Let's see. Who else? Actor KJ Apa, born in 97, is 28. Actor Odessa Ezeon, born in 2000. She is 25. Sean Stanley, sir, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir. We got a couple. Amelia McKenzie, she turns 25. And AEW superstar Minoru Suzuki, he turns 57 on June 17th, 2025.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's do a little music history. What happened today on June 17th that matters in music history? First of all, we start in 1972, where the Rolling Stones album Exile on Main Street began a 4-week run at number 1 on the Billboard 200. In 2005, original Soul Asylum bassist Carl Mueller died at his home from throat cancer at the age of 41. Damn. In 95, Rod Stewart set an attendance record at England's Wembley Stadium when his concert brought 90,000 fans. The Live Aid concert 10 years earlier only drew 72,000. In 97, fans rioted at Ozfest in Columbus, Ohio, after Ozzy Osbourne couldn't perform due to throat problems. Angry fans broke windows, uprooted trees, and turned over a parked car. In 1980, Led Zeppelin began their last European tour. In 65, the Kinks and the Moody Blues made their American live debut at New York's Academy of Music. And in 2012, Bruce Springsteen played his longest show at the time when he performed a 32-song set over 3 hours and 48 minutes in Madrid. Wow. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. By the way, the week that we want to go up to Madrid, Hailstorm is performing. So if I go, I may want to go see Hailstorm. So she's headlining, so it's good. I get to see a headlining set with Lizzie, and that is pretty freaking special, man. That is pretty damn special. Okay. Kind of like the folks at R&M Contractors, and they know how to get it done. Ray, Mike, just amazing people. I've been telling you about them now for the last couple of years. Call them 305-345-3649. And folks, they do complete remodel for your home, your condo, all of that, dude. Kitchen upgrades with appliances, waterproofing your terrace, your balcony, and a flood test report, which is very important because when you live in a condo, you don't want any of your own issues flowing over, let's say, to your neighbors, right? So a flood test report is very important. So if your apartment gets flooded, you got to know how to drain it. And they prepare it and make sure that that does not happen to you and it doesn't affect, your neighbors. And that's a huge thing. And people will be grateful, even if they don't even realize it. You'll be grateful too, because it's one less headache for you. Call the folks at R&M Contractors. Ray is just absolutely amazing. Stucco repair, maintenance, floor restorations, bathroom upgrades, whatever you're looking forward to doing. RMC Fisher Island. You can check out their Instagram, RMC Fisher Island, and check out their work. It's top notch. 305-345-3649, and tell them that Big O sent you, R&M Contractors. All right. Let me see what we got here on the chat board. Big O, your prediction on the score tonight. Panthers 5, Oilers 3. Okay. They get an empty netter. I mean, they get what's it called? They not an empty netter. What's it called? Pull their goalie, and they have a man advantage, and they sneak a late one in to make it 5-3. Okay, that's it. But Panthers win tonight. I got the Panthers winning tonight. We are coming on tonight, and we're going to have some fun. And I'm actually going to reach out to Fronis and get his ass on the show right when he's done in the locker rooms. Okay. So that way we can talk about something relevant, because really Dolphins talk. I'll throw in a little Dolphins talk at the end, but there's not really much. Maybe something develops from now to tonight, but I don't know. What can I tell you? By the way, I checked this article out, and it's funny because the Dolphins are in the middle of trying to trade a player. They're trying to unload Jalen Ramsey. And so I'm looking at this article. I believe it was on Yard Barker. And, there's a $21 million price tag on this guy. Or is it 24? Can you look that up for me, Sean? Is it 21 or 24? Whatever it is. It's a ridiculous price. We know he's the best corner on the Dolphins. But where does he rank in general? And so I looked at the top 10 in that article, and I said, here are the top 10 cornerbacks in the NFL. Pat Surtain Jr., number 1. Derek Stingley Jr., number 2. Sauce Gardner from the Jets, 3. Trent McDuffie from Kansas City, 4. Jalen Johnson, 5. Marlon Humphrey from Baltimore, 6. Christian Benford from the Bills, 7. Christian Gonzalez from the Pats, 8. Devon Witherspoon, Seahawks, 9. And Quinyon Mitchell from the Eagles is number 10. You're paying a guy, what is it, Sean? 21, 24 million?
24.1.
24.1. He's not even a top 10 corner. That's why there's, I know Adam Schefter told you that, there's a heavy amount of interest in him, I'm sorry. He said that right before June. Okay. It opened on the 1st, correct, Sean? Like it was June 1st, right? June 1st. We're 17 days now past it. No deal. You're paying $24 million to a guy that's not even in the top 10 anymore. Teams are going to ask you to pay a shitload of that salary, dude. And you're still not going to get much because they've got you completely by the balls. And it shows last offseason, one of the grave mistakes that they made was extending Mike McDaniel, which made no freaking sense whatsoever. Giving Jalen Ramsey a contract, which made no sense whatsoever. And then giving Tyreek Hill a guarantee this year coming. Again, none of these made sense. And look at it. They've all burned you badly, dude. You could be rid of Mike McDaniel already and move on with Weaver. From the get-go, you would have given him the entire offseason and everything, which, again, this is a setback for the team. And now the Jalen Ramsey part of that stupid contract, that's setting you back because you can't deal him. I know what Schefter says, but I'll go by my common sense. Since I'm not sold to agents or teams or anything I don't do any of that, okay? I'm not there to kiss everybody's ass and all that kind of stuff. No. He has to do that shit. He has to even throw bad stories out there because he has to take hits for agencies and for people and do favors. And it is a hit he took because I laughed when that report came out. And I was dead ass right and Schefter was dead ass wrong. How can there be a market for a $24 million cornerback that isn't even considered top 10 in the NFL? That's considered such a terrible contract that you're going to have to pay probably $10 million of that 24 or more. Because he's also a problem child. Just like Jimmy Butler. Look what he's done. So the next coach has to say, I don't know if I'm going to get along with this asshole. And I got to trade for him. I'm not giving up much for this guy. And I'm not paying him much. I know Schefter thinks differently. But if you want to know what's going on and why it's June 17th and there's no deal for Jalen Ramsey, there you go, buddy. Guy's not even considered top 10 and you got to pay him $24 million. Who in their right minds is stupid enough to do that? The Miami Heat, maybe, because they're stupid enough to pay Durant $130 for 2 years at 37 years old. I mean, if you can find a team like the Miami Heat that is just looking to be relevant and they think Jalen Ramsey somehow makes them relevant, then you might be in luck. But right now, if you want to know why Jalen Ramsey isn't getting dealt, and if you want to know why that story from Adam Schefter was completely full of shit, that's the reason why. It's $24 million. He's not a top 10, and nobody wants him. Okay? So I don't work in the NFL in that sense. I don't work for some agency. I don't have to do a favor for an agent or anything like that, like a lot of these insiders unfortunately have to do. Okay? That's why most of them don't even have an opinion. They just break a story and this and that. And if they give any kind of an opinion, it's completely fluff. Why? They can't ever say anything because they'll piss somebody off. They'll piss a team, a general manager, an agent, whatever. So that's why your insiders never really say anything. They just break news. That's it. Can't have real opinions. If you do, you know, real opinions, you got to be able to handle the heat with it. Trust me on that. Been doing it for 35 years. Okay. So not fun. Yes, sir. What were you going to say? We're going to say something, or is this delayed here on this side here? Saw a screen go by. I saw it here. I didn't see it on the live one. We good? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always, and we appreciate it immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And by the way, I want to also thank the lettuce hands out there. Okay? You all are absolutely beautiful. The way you're doing it now, that you're selling off Bitcoin and you're allowing the whales to accumulate cheap Bitcoin. And it's really it's funny how short-term holders panic, because that's what's going on. Short-term holders are panicking. It's the only reason why we dropped to 105. You know what I'm saying? But hey, thank you to all those of you out there, because you're going to give people out there an opportunity to continue to stack and stack and stack. And what people don't understand is that let me break down the mathematics for you in a way that maybe becomes a little bit affordable for some. Okay, so right now you're at 105. All right, so 1% is what? 1,050, right? Okay, so if you can afford a 1%, then go for it. But if you can afford 10% of 1%, that's what you start buying. So if you can $105, $106, so you get that, and then you do that 10 times, you end up with 1%. And if you can end up somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 and 10 and 15 and 20%, not the whole Bitcoin. It's working stiffs. We're not going to be able to, I'm never going to be able to enjoy a whole Bitcoin, dude. That's just kind of the way it goes. But you stack little by little, and before you know it, it grows. You can't look at it like at the 100,000. I never looked at it that way. You just don't. You just keep stacking, and it multiplies. So just be smart. Take advantage. The dollar has lost nearly 10% in the first 100 days of this year. It's like a 9 point something percent, and it's going to lose more. People aren't buying our bonds. It's going to get worse. And the dollar's only gone down, and Bitcoin has only gone up over time. I'm not a financial advisor, but Jesus Christ, look at where that thing's come from. 8 digits behind the penny 16 years ago, and look where it's at. And look what your dollar goes every week, every month. You buy less and less and less and less. So, Fernandan, the S&P 500 doesn't even come close to Bitcoin, my brother. You know, if you're going to say something, my brother, have the facts at least. Okay? Just have the facts at least. Why don't you go do the research and go see how Bitcoin has pumped over the last year, 5 years, 10 years, 16 compared to the S&P. Nothing compares to Bitcoin. It leaves everything behind. Okay? Everything. It leaves it behind. And the stock market is oversold and super manipulated. And there's a crash coming for that too. Okay? You'll see. The flight will be people saving their money in Bitcoin, because that will go up while the dollar disintegrates, and stocks also start hurting too as the dollar disintegrates. So you can do what you want, but nothing outpaces Bitcoin, not even close. Do your homework first before you actually talk about stuff like that. Do you think if we get Weaver as head coach, we tank and draft a QB? No, I don't. So, their problem is build an offensive line for the QB. The problem, C's, is you hear people say Tua needs a perfect team, and then you believe stupid shit that says out there. That's all. When you say that, my brother, you know nothing about QBs. That's all. When Jalen Hurts and Tua had the even level playing field at Alabama, what happened? I'm just wondering, C's, because I hear all this stupid shit. What happens if Tua has for 4 years what Tannehill had in Tennessee? What happens if Tua has what Minnesota's had the last couple of years, a real offensive line and a running game and a defense and a coach on the sidelines? What if Tua had what Lamar has in Baltimore? John Harbaugh, a real defense, Derrick Henry, and a real offensive line and 2 tight ends. What would happen, C's? Do you really need another quarterback, or do you actually need to build a team around a quarterback? Because we did the same thing with Marino. He put up stats, but he didn't win shit. C's, the problem is too many of you. I just said this earlier, didn't I? Fans are fanatical. A lot of you really don't know dick. You really don't know dick. You may watch the game, but you don't know dick. Like C's. You don't know dick, bro. That's all. When you say shit like that, you sound stupid. When you say Tua needs a perfect situation, you sound stupid. Because all Tua's had here is an imperfect situation. And when he had a perfect situation in Alabama, Jalen Hurts couldn't get it done, but Tua could. And Jalen Hurts didn't win the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles team carried his ass, and all he had to do was make a couple of plays. And if you don't think that with that team and that running game, with Saquon Barkley and that offensive line and that defensive line sees Tua can do way better than Jalen Hurts. Again, there are so many of you watch football and you don't know shit. It's truly amazing how stupid some of you are, because you believe stupid media, you believe lazy media, you believe clickbait media. And since you're sheep and you don't think for yourselves, this is what happens. You listen to Elizabeth Warren and she'll tell you that Bitcoin is not good and, count on the dollar. And like sheep, you follow her stupid ass. Right? Or you hear the orangutan say, no, we're gonna ship out just the criminals. No, they're not. Shipping out every damn minority you can find. Keep being naive, bro. Keep being naive. That's C's. Keep being naive. Keep reading and watching people that don't know football. And then that will keep you clueless too at the same time. That's all. Because if you're going to watch media that is just worried about clickbait, they're not really about the real story, what's really going on. They're about clickbait because their editor is not going to allow them to actually be brutally honest. Because sometimes the honesty is not good for business. You know what I mean? It's just kind of the way it is. So, C's, bro, estás perdido. All right. Let's see. If you can't trade him, then pay him and tell him to stay home. Don't want you around the team. Stay home. You know what, Phil? At this point, you got to pay him, right? Tell him, hey, I'd make him play. And then if he doesn't want to play, I'd suspend him so I can save my money. And if I do what the Heat did with Jimmy Butler. Sorry, man, we couldn't trade you. We're not going to take a hit. You got to play. Sorry, you got to play. We'll let you go at the end of the year, but you got to play. Sorry. Oh, you don't want to play? Oh, you're suspended. You're under contract. Sorry, you're under contract. We're not going to just give away a player, and then we also have to, settle for a 7th or 6th round pick because we have to pay $8 million of your salary. No, we're not doing that. And you shouldn't, because you'll gain nothing from that. So I tell him, pay him. I'm going to say, hey, bro, sorry, your value's down. You raise your value, and maybe I can trade you by the deadline. Play that mental game with him and say, hey, I'd love to get you out of here. You're going to have to get on the field, play your ass off, and somebody will want you by a deadline. Oh, you don't want to play? Oh, okay, you're suspended and we're not paying you. That's it. That's all. Because it's not going to stand up in the NFLPA or in any court for the NFL. Oh, I don't get along with the coach. I don't want to play. Too bad, bro. Lots of people don't get along with their bosses. Lots of people have. I had the last 2 stops I had you see Inter Miami. Well, I had to deal with that. Okay. Fucking disaster. Just buffoonery. Okay. And then I was at 12:10 with another clown that didn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to be with incompetence. Too bad. Too bad, dude. And that's it. That's the way I would handle Jalen. But back to the Tua thing. Too many of you just don't get it, bro. You just don't get it. That's all. And you've been programmed, and that's fine. Whatever. But the argument ends when I tell you, if he has the same thing others have, you think Jalen Hurts is going to win with the shit we have here and the coach on the sidelines? Nobody's going to win with this clown. Nobody's going to win with this lack of direction and this. I mean, McDaniel is constantly unprepared, dude. And he puts no emphasis on guards. Way to protect your quarterback. I mean, just the stupid shit that is constantly said or written. It's really amazing to me, dude. It really is amazing. What else do we have here? The Heat front office is behind the 8 ball. Why would they trade for an old fart like KD? Did you listen to the beginning? They just want to be relevant, bro. For them just to be somewhat relevant is good enough. They cannot handle being completely irrelevant and tearing it down, and neither can Riley, apparently, which is the best thing for the Heat. They refuse to do what's best for the franchise right now. That's screwed up, dude. Let's see. What else do we have? Jalen gets traded with the Dolphins, pay the other team to take him. That sucks. Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to pay quite a bit. It's funny he waited until he got more money last year and now he wants out. Yeah, that's because it's our environment, Big Johnson. Nobody believes in that guy, dude. Everybody likes everything else in the organization. Everything else is fine. Seriously. And nobody has a problem with the other coaches, Weaver, the front office, the ownership, the trainers, the media relations staff. There's no problem except one problem, and I don't understand it. Why? Why would you extend this guy? And his whiny bullshit is what ended up forcing them to pay Tyreek, because they were not paying him. They were dead set on not paying him. And then all of a sudden that shit changed. And that was him, dude. That was him. Let's see. You were right about one thing. I've always been in the green with my Bitcoin. No other asset does that. Of course not, dude. Nothing. It's ridiculous. The guy that's mentioned stocks is because he doesn't know shit about crypto. He doesn't know anything about Bitcoin. He doesn't know dick. So he's just a stock guy. I've run into those guys all the time. You know what I mean? It's fine. You know your stocks, but don't talk shit, bro. You know, when you don't know anything, don't open your mouth. That guy opened his mouth and then he sounds stupid. You know, anybody that says stick to the S&P 500 over Bitcoin, you're a fucking moron, bro. That's all. You're a moron. All you have to do is take 5 minutes to do your homework and you'll see the growth of Bitcoin compared to the S&P, and it's not even close, dude. It's not even close. So it's just like, it's ridiculous. What asset in the last 16 years has gone from 8 digits behind a penny to over $100,000 right now? No asset. It does not exist. No one can compare to what is going on with Bitcoin at all. So one asset that the rich, the most powerful people and institutions are buying now more than anything. And it's finite. Stocks can be split. Mr. S&P there doesn't tell you that. CEOs and companies can crash and they can have competition. There's no competition for Bitcoin. There's only one, period. End of story. And it's finite. It's immutable. No government can control it. Can't be manipulated like the stock market is with bots and everything else. Come on, man. Anyway, Big O, grandma had shingles that spread to her eyes and she went blind. Bad stuff. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the shingles can, dude, it can hit you anywhere. I'm telling you, bro, if you, especially us older people, if you can get your immune shots for the shingles, do it, man. Do it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Quantum says shingles is very painful. It's like having a stun gun on your face over and over again. Wow. Yeah, I've heard just bad shit about it. And I said, forget it, bro. I'm going to get the shots. I'm going to get the shots. Do you think a country will back its currency with crypto? Bitcoin, not crypto. Bitcoin. Crypto, no. No. Nobody will back their, that would be stupid. That's like backing it up with the S&P. Crypto is not the answer. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not crypto. There's Bitcoin and then there's crypto. Huge difference. Yes. By the way, there's already 2 nations, my brother. El Salvador and it's a nation in, can you look it up for me, Sean? It's in Europe. It's a small nation. I forgot the name of it, but is it Liechtenstein? Can you look it up for me? There's a European nation besides El Salvador that has made Bitcoin its legal tender. Okay, so you know it's already happening. And Bhutan, that country of Bhutan, they're like a Bitcoin monster. They're a small country, and they are one of the largest holders of Bitcoin in the world. I think it's called Bhutan. I think is how it's pronounced. I want to say it's Liechtenstein that made it. It's in Europe. It's like in the middle. It doesn't have a coast. It's inside. It's inside Europe. It's a small country, but they have made it already. So there's 2 countries already, and others will add it to their reserves, and then their money will end up. When it's all said and done, Argentina will be the big powerhouse country that will use it. Watch. Yes, sir.
What I have, I'm on coinmarketcap.com. It's got El Salvador and Central African Republic as the countries with.
Oh, maybe it is in the African Republic and not in Europe. I think yes, you are right. It is in the African nation. And again, it's also in the middle. It's not a coast. It's not a coast one too, if I'm correct. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's not like it's not on the Ivory Coast or anything like that in Africa. It's not Mauritius or anything like that. It's in the middle of the country. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. So there's already 2 countries, and more will follow. They're in the process now of passing all these reserves and everything else. People have to get educated. Problem is, most people have no idea what Bitcoin is, and they don't even know what money is. That's the worst part. They have no idea what's going on with our money. If first they knew what was going on with our money, then they would actually understand Bitcoin a lot faster. So I bought more Bitcoin this morning. I'll buy a little every week. I'll never stop. Exactly. And you just keep adding and keep adding and keep adding and keep adding. And that's it. Stick to Beanie Babies. Oh, China has been buying a ton of gold the last few years. Yes, they have. They actually have done stupid stuff with Bitcoin, stopping in and starting in and stopping in and starting in, and so they have fallen behind the United States and all of that. They had an opportunity while Biden was in power for 4 years, and you had all that stupidity in place that they were anti-Bitcoin and all that, and they were trying to kill it and everything. China should have just blown up, and they didn't. And they followed a lot of the stupid shit. And look at the EU does the same stuff. And the dumb broad from the IMF also does the same shit because they want to keep you stupid. They want to control you. They can control you with money. And then eventually CBDCs are coming. And countries are putting that in. And that's just an absolute cancer. We would have had CBDCs if Harris gets in. She would have done that shit. Yeah. So, it's crazy. Although I'll tell you this, Bitcoin would be much higher right now with Kamala Harris. That's the interesting part. After everything, and he's so pro-Bitcoin, Bitcoin would be higher now with Kamala Harris than it is with him because there would have been no tariffs. Everything would have gone to normal. They would have printed. They would have lowered rates, all that kind of stuff. Because that's the way they go. He has disrupted everything, and nobody knows how the outcome is. And so now there's trillions sitting on the sidelines waiting to, but while they're waiting, their money is dying because the dollar is losing value. So your money in your bank is buying less and less every day. But there are trillions in the sidelines, and they're waiting to invest, and they don't know where to go. So that's because they just don't know what the tariffs are going to be because there's no real end to it yet. Nobody knows what's the end number and all this because, the 90 deals in 90 days, they couldn't come up with 9 deals in 9 months. So, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Bitcoin would be much higher right now with Kamala Harris in place. How crazy is that? Yeah. So it is what it is. What are you going to do? Is it better off in the long run? No. It'll be better off with this administration in the long run. But right now, in the short term, it would have been higher, actually. So, let's see. Smart, when young and not being irresponsible is the path to having worries when old. So many seniors or soon-to-be seniors have no clue what, where, or how they live in retirement. So bad. Yeah. And, dude, and you're going to count on Social Security? That shit's going to die. Fernandin, you're not anti-Bitcoin. You need to learn more. Exactly. So before you actually talk, you got to get informed. Okay? Because I follow it all. Stocks, gold, silver, oil, everything going on in trade along with Bitcoin and crypto. I follow everything politically. Everything, dude, nowadays. While I'm invested, I am following everything and anything that could affect my investments. So that's where I'm at. And I started with stocks, but then I learned that Stocks that's passe, dude. It's passe. Crypto and Bitcoin is the future. That's where we're going, but that's fine. The people that grew up with, what they know, that's where they're comfortable. It takes a lot of balls to go understand Bitcoin and crypto and then understand the dollar, and then you can start to make a really intelligent decision. But it takes time. It's boring. It's boring to keep up with politics. It's boring to keep up with all this crap because Democrats and Republicans are a disaster. So I get it, and they're frustrating both sides because they're just pathetic. I'm not a fan of either. And I constantly repeat that over and over and over again because obviously Trumpies don't understand that. They only hear one thing. Anything anti them, that's it. You're anti-Trump. No, dude, I'm anti-Republicans and Democrats. I'm not for any of you idiots. But sometimes they don't understand that part. Anyway, so all I would say is homework. Do your homework. Think for yourself a little bit. Watch what's actually going on. I mean, the day Elizabeth Warren and Trump both agreed that they should eliminate the debt ceiling, it's exactly what I've been talking about for years now. It doesn't matter what side it is. You people are all dumb and programmed. Elizabeth Warren and Trump both agreed they should eliminate the debt ceiling. That way they can print to their heart's desire and just continue to devalue the hell out of the dollar. That's two people that hate each other. That's two parties that can't think alike. But there's one thing that they completely agree upon: wasting our money. Like a $50 million stupid party over the weekend. Defend that, and you're just a loser, bro. Defending that. Okay, just like some guy on Twitter. Well, it was to celebrate our military. No, it's not, you idiot. And stop. We don't need to celebrate our military. We don't need to show off our tanks, right? We're not a communist country. We celebrate our military by honoring them, by giving them a proper retirement, by taking care of all their hospital needs. That's how we celebrate our military. When they come back from wars, we embrace them. We don't call them out or whatever, insult them or whatever. When they're there sacrificing everything, and when they come back all screwed up, we've got to be there with open arms to help and make sure that they have a proper home, a proper place to be where they belong. We treat them like nothing, dude. It's disgusting. What the hell does a stupid ass parade do? It's for his little ego. That's all it was. You break. It's a waste of money. It's like Biden building a stupid pier in the middle of the ocean out in over there to unload stuff. Cost us hundreds of millions of dollars for nothing, and the thing just got destroyed because it's just, it's just stupid. They don't care. Oh, well, they don't care. None of them ever care, dude. Anyway. So what can I tell you? Remember, folks, you can always make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Bitcoin right now is hovering in the high 104s right now. The latest is, let me see, because I got to get it refreshed. It was 104,400 the last time I got it. Yeah, same thing, 104,397. But it is a direct shot. Well, 338 now. 338. 325. I'm going to watch it and buy the dip, Anyway, we're out of here, folks. Not a lot to talk about today on the show. We appreciate all of you out there. As always, please smash the hell out of the like button. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. We'll be back tonight. We got Oki tonight, and we'll have the coverage of Game 6. Hopefully, the Panthers wrap it up tonight. I'll talk to Furones and see if we get him on, too, and we'll have some fun with that. Anyway, Appreciate all of you out there. Love you all out there. Thank you for supporting us. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscription and the notification bell so you can follow us. And, of course, support the hell out of our great sponsors. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bad channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the